Okay, hello and welcome. We're live with the Girthcast. It's been a hell of a last few hours on Twitter. It seems like all of the, or I suppose some, I can't say all for sure, but at least some of the Siege Decepticons have dropped. And they're looking pretty hot. I've got my girlfriend's trusty laptop to the side of me, and we're going to go through them. I'm going to have a look at them, and we're going to talk about how I feel about them. And up front, I should probably say that I'm pretty excited about them, but I probably will get vaguely negative about pricing and, the fact that it's G1 again. But yeah, it has been really good on the last few hours on Twitter here. There's just been nothing but fun and love spewing out of every orifice that I can see. Don't know if I'm up for this whole, talking and looking at things, but we did a whole hour of me describing what happened in my games of Fortnite last night. So I think we should be okay here. I think we should. Oh my god, look at that Ravage. Maybe we'll start with Ravage because that's like the pick. Yes, Count Dracumar on Twitter or Speed Free. I don't know. Do I say their first name and their last name? I don't know the Twitter etiquette, but Count Dracumar has a pickup of the wee Ravage, and the wee Ravage looks lovely. Hello, Shanks. Shanks has joined the Twitter. Shanks has not joined the Twitter. I mean, he has joined the Twitter, but he's joined the stream. And yeah, we're talking about the Siege reveals, Shanks. I linked you to the Shockwave. That Shockwave looks amazing. Maybe not amazing enough for me to buy him, but I thought you would like we linked him because he does look. You like your Shockwaves, and he looks boss. He's like a base Shockwave. He's like a leader class toy, so he's going to be about like 50 to 60 pound, and he has like a base Shockwave form, and then he's got bits that add on to him. He is amazing enough for you. Well, he's got like a spaceship mode that I wasn't that into until I saw some other pictures where like the command tower of his spaceship mode has a wee mono eye on it, and that's like the right level of like cartoon to anime. Like the ratio right there is perfect, and he powers up. Like he's another one of those toys that has because the Siege Ultra Magnus is like a white cab robot Optimus Prime that powers up into Ultra Magnus, and now Shockwave is powering up into like Super Shockwave, Super Shocker. I like Shockwave. And I like everything about this toy. I like that he gets like two more arms, but he still only has one good hand. Like his other three arms are his gun hand. I quite. It's Shock Blast. Shock Blast. Yep. There's been a lot of good attempts at naming him on Twitter today. I chimed in with a few, but I don't think they were witty enough to repeat. But yeah, he looks great. I probably won't drop 50 to 60 pound on him right away, and I doubt he'll turn up in TK Maxx considering the reaction he's had here. But if he turned up in TK Maxx, Shanks, I'd be all over him. I'd be all over him. He's a nice shade of purple, but I think that probably matters to some people. I don't particularly care myself. But yeah, it has been like a cracker of a day. Didn't know this was coming. Well, I knew the reveals were coming at some point, but I didn't know that it was going to be today. I was all set to do another Fortnite stream. That's kind of where my mind was at. Yeah, it's probably going to be a bit laggy in speech while I just like ogle these pics. Yeah, the wiki has pics up where because there's this diorama. I should probably describe this for people that aren't actually on Twitter looking at the thing. It's a big diorama of, I assume, Cybertron. Well, it is Cybertron. It's the war for Cybertron. I was going to say, I assume like a Decepticon city or an Autobot city that they've blown all to hell. It's quite funny to see these colourful toys standing on like Games Workshop-y, black, ruined, and silver damaged buildings. Got quite a nice lake of energon cutting around it, but it's mostly like very bright and colourful toys on an all black and charred city. It's a very nice diorama. There's like loads and loads of wee details. Radio Free Cybertron, I believe, is the people that have been posting the pictures. They've spotted quite a lot of nice little bits and bobs. There is a Soundwave, who I suppose we should say turns into a spaceship, but also basically turns into the lamp post from episode 1 of the G1 cartoon. There is a lamp post, like a ruined version. They've just painted the toy. Yeah, mate, Soundwave does open. Yeah, we should probably talk about that. I started talking about Ravage. There's Ravage and there's Laserbeak, and you can totally put them into Soundwave's chest. Which, should probably be a feature of all Soundwaves. If you're buying a Soundwave and he doesn't have a chest that you can put other little boys into, then you're buying the wrong Soundwaves, people. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll down. Yeah, the Soundwave. I don't want to buy them because I have, and I love the Titans Return Soundwave. That one is so bulky and girthy and like boxy and like balloonish. But this one looks really good. It looks really, really good. I don't know if I suppose he's a Voyager, I'd imagine. Can't see him being lower than that. Mine does, to be fair, but that lamppost Soundwave is very me. Like, yes, Shanks. I think the lamppost Soundwave is for everyone. I don't think there's a single person out there that likes Soundwave, but doesn't like the fact that he turned into a lamppost in the first episode. I'm gonna at you here so you can see what I'm looking at. That's some fandom interaction for you. Here we go, at, and then I probably shouldn't say your name. No, that's not how you do the at. Right, how do I do it at? Where's the at symbol? There it is. Here we go, at Shanks. At Shanks, there you are. Now you can see what I'm looking at. Because I'm looking at a picture of Soundwave with Laserbeak, I assume, in his chest. And it looks so bra. I mean, you can see the Soundwave, like all of the Siege toys, has weathering effects on him. Like you see all that paint on him. His chest is all scratched and broken up like he's an iPhone that you've dropped on the ground. And then that looks amazing when you put up the cassette. Yeah, it does look banging, Shanks. It does. It kind of really makes me want to buy another Soundwave. I felt so bad when I bought that Titans Return one, by the way, because I already had the War or Fall of Cybertron one, the one that turns into a wee buggy thing and also pops little discs from his chest. I really don't like buying doubles of characters. For a long time, that was my line. Like, I'll buy billions of Transformers, but if I've got a toy of them and I'm satisfied with it, and even if there is a better one, like, I'll probably not buy a double because, you have to set some lines for yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to buy every single thing in the world. But, that being said, Soundwave looks amazing. Not too keen on his alt mode, which is like, I guess I can't say that because I guess his alt mode is technically the lamppost. His proper one that they're going for is like a spaceship. Him, Shockwave, and is it just him and Shockwave? But yeah, there's a lot of spaceship modes going about, and I do like me an anime spaceship, but the Soundwave one kind of looks a bit dull, especially compared to that leader Shockwave. That Shockwave mode looks amazing. He's got wee boosters and everything on the side. Oh, that's good. What else do we have? We've got his wee chest flips open. That's great. I'm just scrolling down now, Shanks. Bear with me while I scroll. The Starscream is a texture jet. He's a wee pyramid jet, and he doesn't look that great from these shots. Don't get me wrong. The fact that they are doing Seeker, I suppose we can, say they'll do Seekers. They'll probably be a repaint of Starscream into a Seeker, The fact that they're doing Seeker Tetrajets at all is fantastic. I know it took them years and years and years and they were beaten to the punch by the third parties and everything, but it is cool. That is baseline a good thing that they're doing. It just so happens that the Starscream they've done for this one doesn't look too good. I'll link you, Shanks, if you've not seen him before. Let me see if I've got some straight up pictures of Starscream. Not a lot of love, actually, on the Twitter for the Starscream. Yeah, I'll link you here. This one exposes the flaw in the Tetrajet Starscream because he has a hell of a undercarriage, which is a shame. Wasp Shot, Ben on Twitter was saying that if you're doing Cybertronian alt modes, there's no excuse for kibble, and I might take that to heart because Like, if you're doing a made-up space cartoon, spaceship mode, then why are you also having kibble on it? Like, those two things should counter each other out. But I like Starscream as a character quite a lot, but I didn't buy his last few toys. Like, I've still not got not the Combiner Wars one, but Yeah, Soundwave's alt mode ain't really great, to be fair, says Shanks. It isn't, but I mean, are you seeing this Starscream one I've linked you to? Because I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of into it. It looks a lot like a Viper from Battlestar Galactica, specifically the older series ones. Though I guess the ones in the newer series were exactly the same as the old ones, because weren't they like museum pieces? I didn't really watch the new Battlestar Galactica, so I couldn't tell you. But this Starscream looks like a Battlestar jet, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it kind of seems like they've kind of fumbled the open goal. Yeah, I see, like, but I'm not pro jet knees. Well, the thing is, you can do like a Gurwalk mode with them, I'd imagine, from the looks of things. So you can have your wee, like, pyramid jet walking on wee legs. Oh, we're already at low battery. Bear with us, viewers. I've prepared for this. I've got a wee thing to plug in times of emergency. There we go. Hopefully that's fine. Hopefully we can still broadcast. Yes. I'm scrolling down and there's definitely not a love for Starscream in my feed. Like, here's his robot mode. I'll at you here. I'll at you, Shanks. There we go. There we are. Oh, so no, yep. Wee bit of lag on the computer there. Yeah, his robot mode looks fine. Looks a bit puffy. Looks like it kind of hunches his back a little bit, or he might have like like an ab crunch. Is kind of what's implied from his posture, but he looks fine. He looks like a boxy G1 Starscream. It's a wee bit of a shame that the entire Tetrajet mode kind of hangs off his back, but that's a jet transformer for you in this day and age. Right, Shanks, you're on the big gallery photos. That is probably the better place to be, so I don't have to keep atting you. Yeah, I probably talked as much as I can about the Starscream without getting too negative. I would probably buy him. I can see him turning up in TK Maxx because, like I say, he's not getting as much love. I guess the big thing for me, the big reveal thus far, the one that I would put pennies away for, to save up for and buy when he comes out in 3 to 4 or 5 months, is Flywheels. Flywheels looks amazing. And I'm just saying that based... Oh, you like the Megatron, do you, Shanks? Well, we'll talk about him in a second, because I've got talking about Flywheels of all people. Yeah, we'll let Megatron simmer while we talk about Flywheels of all people. Flywheels looks bloody amazing. I first got into Flywheels culture with the wee Titans Return lad, who I believe is called Skytread. I know he's got more of a following in the comics, but I've not really gotten into him there. I had the wee tank, the wee Titan Master dude, who was piloting a wee tank that turned into a jet, and he was coloured the colour of milk, well, not milk chocolate, I guess, yeah. Yeah, he was milk chocolatey. He was pink and milk chocolatey, and he was a wee tank man with, like, anti-air guns. And he's lovely. And, like, his G1 toy is a Duocon, where he's, like, a jet and a tank, and the jet and the tank combine to make a robot, and he's got these giant Sideshow Bob feet. And all these features have been retained for the new toy. So he's definitely a purchase. I love his wee blue cockpit. I love everything about him. Some people are down on him because there was another guy called Battletrap who he's kind of in a subgroup with, and he doesn't have the same engineering. He doesn't turn into a robot mode, or 2 robot modes, and then 2 alt modes and combine. I'm vaguely fine with that. I didn't get Battletrap. I could have, in Cumbernauld of all places. They had them, and they had them for cheap. But that's when I had 0 money. And I definitely didn't want to spend 0 money on, negative amounts of debt to, purchase some Transformers at that point. That's probably one of my deepest regrets recently of Transformers collecting. But at the same time, did go back to Cumbernauld sometime after that with money and pick up G2 Megatron, or Hero Megatron at least. So, swings and roundabouts there when it comes to Cumbernauld. Flywheels, I could gush about him for hours, really. He just looks lovely. He looks like a proper robot. And he's, like, not one of 8 G1 characters that they're banging on about. You know, he's like a breath of fresh air when it comes to this toy line. Like, I know it's Wave 1. Like, I know I'm, like, being pissy about Wave 1 and being like, oh, it's just Megatron, Starscream, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee. Like, I suppose there's not a Bumblebee yet, because there's a billion other Bumblebees in the Bumblebee film toy line. You know, they've got their head screwed on right there. But, you know, I'm a wee bit sick of it being those characters, especially when it's between this, the G1, not the G1, the movie line, the bloody Evergreen line, and Cyberverse. It's basically the same 8 characters over and over in various different toys, which is fine, and that's probably what they should be doing to shore up the franchise, but it is awfully boring, and it's definitely a Whiplash kind of effect coming off of Titan's Return and Power of the Primes and all that stuff, where they just went hardcore into, you know, deep diving into G1, which is obscure lad after obscure lad. Like, I have a Slug Slinger figure now, of all things. Like, we were spoiled. Like, I am totally an entitled, spoiled person when I talk about this, because I have all these things. Like, they did definitely do those deep dives, and now they're going back to just do Optimus, Megatron, Grimlock. Like, they're doing their core things, and, like, it's been years now for those 3 toy lines, so I don't really have any room to complain. It just, I don't know. It's a feeling thing more than it is a logical thing. Like, yeah, that Soundwave alt mode is just a lamppost lying on its side that they're pretending is a spaceship. The wee canisters, the wee rocket pods do a lot. Like, it's probably something you would see in Blake 7, you know, crafted together from cardboard and toilet roll tubes, which I suppose is cardboard. The other guy in these pics that's next to Soundwave and Flywheels is Burnt. There's a new guy, or I guess Burnt's not a new guy, but who the hell is Burnt? I couldn't tell you who Burnt is. He is a purple tank, an artillery looking piece, and he is the same as Cog, because he splits into fun little bits and bobs that you can add on to, or armor up your Decepticons with. I love that. I was hoping they would do a Cog equivalent for the Decepticons, and they've went out of their way because it's a weird, obscure guy. Them pics are banging, to be fair. I'm needing to go, mate. Enjoy your stream. Yes, Shanks, you did as well. Thanks for tuning in. You've been our #1 viewer of the evening. You've been our only viewer of the evening, so fair play to you. Right, where were we? Soundwave. I'm seeing that picture of Soundwave with Laserbeak in his chest. Laserbeak. Yeah, he does look really good. The more I see this one pic of him, I really want to buy him. Oh, and he's got a sculpted finger to pop his chest with. Oh, I have that, I suppose, in the War for Cybertron version, but that does look pretty good. Let's reload the Twitter and see if there's any new pictures. 7 new tweets. That Megatron does look very prim and proper. I probably will end up getting that Megatron at some point. And then I'll probably end up getting the Siege Prime, because I mean, it's a sign of my sheer filthy consumerist wormness, but they do look like a good pair of toys to have. Like, they would look good standing together. Are they peak Megatron? Are they peak Prime? Maybe. Like, I'm sure there's a version of these toys out there. Probably the Takara ones are probably the exact same, aren't they? Not actually looked into that, but there's probably like a non-battle damaged, slightly more painted version of these toys. Like, if you took the battle damage paint and then allocated it into more non-battle damaged bits of the toy, that might be, because I don't need, because I could go out and get like a Masterpiece Prime and a Masterpiece Megatron, and those could be the peak versions of those toys, and I would never have to buy a Megatron or a Prime ever again. But these are very toyetic. They're very fun looking. Megatron has that sword, for heaven's sake. Wasp shot him, and Ben was saying that it turns from his tank mode cannon into the sword. That's cool. That seems very toyetic. Megatron has leg warmers, you know? Has all Megatron said that? Has his feet always been a different colour? Can't actually think from memory. What else have we got? That's a cool looking comic. Oh, that's Mark Wade. Posting pictures of Kingdom Come. I should probably read Kingdom Come at some point. I talk a big game about Reconstructionism, Reconstructionar. Just going to waffle for a bit. Reconstructionism, but I haven't actually read Kingdom Come, so it's probably a black mark in my record. I mean, here's another picture of the Starscream. He does look good. He looks like a good robot mode Starscream. The Tetrajet is a fun thing that they might have bundled. There's some news, superhero news. I'll probably save that for a second podcast. It is a Comic-Con that's happening. Yeah, it's fun that Transformers reveals happening now while other things are being revealed. I'll finish this stream up and then I'll go see that there's like a new, I don't know, Aquaman book, and I'll be like, oh look, a new Aquaman book. That's fun. Yes. What else? There's Refractor, or the new Reflector. I respect those toys. Or toy, I should say. I don't know. I respect those things a hell of a lot. I am not one of the madmen that will go out and buy 3 of the same deluxe just so I can make the words I'm looking for here. Just so I can make the camera mode. I respect the hell out of those people that will, but I personally won't be doing it. It's not for me. It's not for me. Why isn't it for me? It's probably going to context and that kind of thing. Because I don't want to pay deluxe prices. It mainly comes down to pay. I would have every Transformer multiple times over if I could afford it, but I can't. So I have to pick and choose my lads. And I like the idea. I've never really had any connection with Reflector. Because, he turns up, how many times in the G1 cartoon? I don't spend much time with very early G1. I like later stuff. Love Season 3 and, Season 2, where it's all about, the combiner teams and just every new character of the week. So I don't really have much time for Season 1 boys. I'm going to post the stream again. Let's get some more of you people in here, eh? Let's be aggressive with our marketing. What do we got here? Copy and paste, yes. There we are. How do you spell siege again? That is the trouble. I just will not be able to remember. Stream, there we go. Siege stream in capitals for some reason. Yes, not terribly excited about Reflector. Probably looks like a good toy. I hope the individual modes are enough. He looks like he's got a shield arm, with the curvy bit of his camera. That's something that always gets me going, is a nice shield piece. There was a picture of Flywheels using Ravage, I believe, in cassette mode as a shield, and that got me going. That was one of my top picks from this photo set, actually. That's a yawn because I'm quite tired. I've been up all day, roaming the fields, buying comics. Didn't actually buy comics, but I took my brother Josh, if you're watching. We went out and bought comics, and it was a good time. It was a friendly atmosphere, and he purchased comics, so I'm glad. I assume he had a good time. I'm stalling for time while I look at pictures, by the way. Yeah, so not too big on the Refractor. Refractor is a great name change if they lost the copyright, by the way. When they do name changes and they don't really they don't live up to the old name, and you're like, oh, you just changed this because you lost the copyright. Refractors, if that is what they've named them, I've kind of just been vaguely looking at the words. Mostly I've been looking at these pictures. If that is what they've renamed them to, I'm well pro that. Oh my god. Is it Jared? I can't deal with people when they change their name for Halloween, because he's Pumpkaboo Spice Jared. He's done a digibash of Siege Signal Lancer, and yes, they need to start doing Unicron Trilogy homages and love. They need to start putting that out into the world. So, if I don't know, Japan, if you want to get on Siege Signal Lancer, be my guest. Let's have a wee. Oh no, there he is. Let's have a wee retweet of that. There we go. Retweeted. So, yes, Refractor, meh. Starscream, yeah. Megatron, yes, definitely. Shockwave, looks like a fantastic toy. Probably a little bit out of my price range. Would love to see him for cheap. Probably a bit cheeky of me to say I have a toy that's literally just been revealed. But, doesn't necessarily scream by me now. Like, I'm definitely here for power up gimmicks. I want to support that in any way I can. It's, just not by giving them money. And yeah, more of that. Flywheels, though. Oh yes, I'm gonna have flywheels. He's gonna be great, and I'm going to have flywheels. Hold flywheels, hopefully, because the Titan Master's we tank, his vehicle, isn't well held. Is well held a word? Is it two words that you can put together in a sentence? Don't know. Isn't necessarily well held by a lot of individual transformers. So hopefully flywheels can hold flywheels quite well. If I was designing the toys, I would have probably accounted for that. But I'm not designing the toys, so there you go. Wee notification. That's right, someone's liking my retweet of the Signal Lancer. Yes, more Unicron Trilogy love would be great. I'm just stalling while I try to remember who else has been revealed. Yeah, Burnt, I will be calling him Turnt from now on. Didn't realise Turnt wasn't a real word until earlier. He looks great. Some Evangelist, I think, was saying that he looks like Purple Demolisher, and that's definitely the vibes I get from him. Love that he's got clank, clank your dead hands. They should expand more into that, in my opinion. Transformers people should. Transformers designers, I one of the main reasons I like Transformers is that they're mostly dudes, but you should have some dudes that are more monstrous than others. Right. What else got revealed? The Micromaster Jet Patrol, their Decepticon Airstrike Patrol. I have those G1 toys, and I was thinking about this during the reveal. Do I need to buy them? I probably will, because they're the cheap little dudes that are cutting about, and you might see them at an Asda now and again. So they will be more in my price range and more affordable and more gettable. Is that a reason to get them? Do I like them? Do I just like them because I have them? Is that a reason to buy new toys? That's my conundrum for this evening, my Girthcast conundrum. Gotta start with the branding. Every so often I just have to remember that you're listening to the Girthcast. Because for some reason, all of my content is girth based, and I've long forgotten the reason why. Toys are girthy. I mean, certain toys definitely are girthy. You have to give people that. Jesus, that is a big She-Ra. Is it Super 7? Someone's put out a new She-Ra toy for the new cartoon, and there's just a giant statue of it. That looks great. That looks great. Is that on Netflix? Probably watch that. It seems like something that could be fun. There was, there wasn't just Siege reveals. There was, Movieverse stuff and Cyberverse stuff. I think there's a Cyberverse Hot Rod, Rodimus Hot Rod. The car mode looks amazing. It looks just like, or what I think looks just like, the G1 toy. So, points there. And then the toy, the robot mode does not look too hot. Which, that's kind of par for the course with the Cyberverse toys so far. Specifically, they have a Prowl that looks like it's probably the one good one of the wave, which, I hope isn't a tradition they're setting up. Because you know how Shockwave is the one people want, and the one good one from that first wave. Don't know who's the one good one from the second wave. I've not actually paid much attention to second wave Cyberverse stuff, but I hope that is not a tradition that has been established. Like, I was thinking about this. I am up for Transformers being of a Happy Meal quality, right? See, if you went into a shop and the Transformers that you could buy were of a Happy Meal quality, that would be entirely fine with me if it was for Happy Meal prices. I don't know how you can justify £15 to £16 for the Warrior class Cyberverse stuff. See, when they don't have knees. Like, the Starscream doesn't have knees, I don't think. I think the Bumblebee one does. It weirdly, I think it looked like it didn't, but I don't think. I think it actually does have knees. But see, when you don't have knees on like a deluxe dude, what? Like, yes, make those toys, make them as accessible as possible for children, because that's what they're for, and like that's okay. Like, I'm not angry. It's like, oh, they made them for like kids. That's entirely fine. Definitely go out and make your toys for kids, but £16. £16. What? It's bizarre to me. It's not as bizarre as the Cyberverse Scouts and their weird lack of alt modes. Why would you be making Transformers that don't transform in this day and age? I mean, there's probably a reason to do that. There's probably like a good reason to do that, but it doesn't look like those Scouts are capitalizing on it in any good way. Like, I bet the majority of those sales are people that don't know. Like, kids will get them and be like, oh yeah, Transformers, that's cool, and then don't realize that they don't properly transform, and then later in life they'll realize how wrong they were. Damn them, those filthy casuals. But and also people on Twitter buying them for a laugh. I want to be one of those people. I want to buy that Grimlock because the Scout one looks really cute, and his half-assed like dinosaur mode is at least something. I can't face the £9. £9 for a joke. I mean, when I say it on here, it doesn't sound so bad, but then I get the cold sweats when I walk up to it in the shop. I was in a Waitrose the other day, and the Waitrose just had them, and I wanted to like partake in the decadence. I wanted to walk into a Waitrose, pick up a £9 Cyberverse Scout, and take it to the desk and be like, "I'd like one of these, please," and then pay £9 of my hard-earned cash on that, and then have a laugh with it for like 5 minutes or whatever. But I couldn't. I just physically couldn't. There's a render or like a production photo or something, a better photo, isolated of the Siege Soundwave, and he does look quite nice. The battle damage looks lovely on him. This picture does a better job selling the spaceship mode than the other pictures I've seen, which, that's marketing for you. At least they're getting these photos right. A lot of their stock photos don't do a really good job of selling things. Yes. What else came out? Refractor, Reflector, Soundwave, Shockwave. Fun that they're together. The Wave Bros. Back at it again. Megatron looks like a winner. Starscream, say what you want about that Tetrajet mode. I like it's been like an hour at best, and I'm like, oh, I'm already writing off this Starscream. I bet no one's going to buy him, and there'll be billions of folk just swarming over shop barricades to pick him up. Yeah, I'm just scrolling down now. Yeah, there was other movieverse stuff that was like Shatter. Is it a one-step or a fast action battler? I know that's not been a line of Transformers in a decade or whatever, but it's such a good term to describe what those things are. Thanks, Thew. You wanted that, that's fine. The Prowl from Cyberverse looks pretty good. I think there's a Ratchet as well. Didn't see him out of the box in these pics. Nobody's trying to notify me, which is good. Which hopefully means that, we're not causing trouble. There's pictures of Hound. Hound looks fine. Hound's a non-character for me. I know that he's got a lot of fangirls out there. I know that he's Jimmy Stewart. I know that he's vaguely the protagonist more than Bumblebee is in the early episodes. Just don't really have any love for Hound. I have the Combiner Wars one. He's like a redo of a repaint, a rebit of a remold of the Swindle, who is out of Rook. So that's a great family lineage. I basically bought him for that over the, just slapped myself there. Basically bought him for that over the character, Definitely one of those purchases where the toy shone through more than the character did. Just scrolling now, endlessly scrolling. Might just rename the podcast to that, endlessly scrolling. I feel like there's someone I'm missing out, some sort of big main thing. There's a new studio series, Drift, that has the baby Dinobots. Okay, like, is that the same Drift? Is that a new Drift, or is that the same Drift as the Last Night one, just painted differently? I want one of those drifts. Not that one. I probably won't get that one. I like the fact that it comes with the wee Dinobots. Forgot that they existed. Forgot that they had a scene, or any scene, in that film. Fun. It's fun that they're filling up the studio series with fun stuff like that. That's exactly what that thing should be. I want a drift, and I want to repaint him into Bludgeon, because I think he would look really good with a skull face. Yep, Soundwave Starscream. I should have probably, linked myself to that big, what's it called? Gallery of all the pictures instead of relying on the Twitter. But I thought it'd be fun just to scroll about the Twitter and be like, oh yes, these things. There's a Laserbeak. Laserbeak looks great. I think he looks, is he Episode 1 Laserbeak when he's on Cybertron? He's not as birdy, but is just a bird because, toys. I like the cassettes. I should probably get into cassettes in a bigger way than I am currently. Had a wee look in Argos today, and they had that Bumblebee movie set that comes with a NAF Bumblebee and 3 new Titans Return cassettes. I really want that. I know that £30 is a good price for a NAF Bumblebee and 3 cassettes. Don't know if I can justify £30 on cassettes, though. That might have been a start of the month purchase. And I know it's only on the 4th or whatever, but bear with me. Yeah, this has been great. This has been a lovely wee drip drop of Transformers. A lot more excited about the Decepticons than I am the Autobots. I think I'm just saying that because everyone is. I can't really remember what the Autobots were. The Ultra Magnus looks amazing, and the Prime looks really good. Didn't take to him right away, but then I think it was Stooge and or Stodge. Once again, don't know how to say the name. On Twitter that chatted me into the idea of Prime looking good. And he does look really good. Especially, like I say, next to that Megatron. Or Megatron, aye. You could have 2. You could have a lovely little, I was going to say a threesome there, but that's getting into, offbeat territory for our Combiner Wars. I keep calling it Combiner Wars. It's the trouble of talking and talking and talking and talking and not stopping. It's dark territory for a Transformers podcast. I suppose I could just slow down my talking and then keep talking like this. The Super Deluxe Shockwave. Did we talk about him enough? His Azura arm mode looks great. I love the fact that he gains 2 extra arms but still only has 1 good arm is a genuinely amazing piece of character design and robot design and just design in general. There should be a lot more of that. I don't feel a lot of love for his gun trigger or his gun handle shoulder pauldrons. The rocket bits on them, they do sway me, and the jet bits, the fins, but the overall shape of them, I kind of feel a wee bit distracting. These are hot and messy hot takes, by the way. I change on these in the next 5 minutes, but just looking at them now, there's something about the gun handleness of it. I get what they're going for. Don't really feel it. He does have double-barreled gun slippers, though, and I'm well into that. Everyone should have double-barreled gun slippers, and I think thanks to either COG or Burnt/Turnt, I think everyone can, which is great. That's a fantastic play pattern to have, double-barreled gun slippers. His good hand, though, Sion Shockwave, his good hand, his hand that is still a hand, looks really off to me. There's something about the shape that isn't pleasing, and maybe that's G1 accuracy or whatever, but just look at these pictures where he's holding it, and it just seems of a low quality. I don't know if anyone would agree with me on that, but don't know how to feel about that. Yes. Very hyped for there being Micromasters. I love that they're calling them Micromasters. They should probably be calling them, Minicons. We're 20 years? We're coming up to 20 years out from Armada. Maybe they'll do the Cybertron thing. Maybe they'll do War for Cybertrons, and the next part of the trilogy will be a different war for Cybertron, and it'll be the Armada War, or some other continuity's war for Cybertron, because they definitely need to get away from the G1 stuff. Are they going to just keep doing G1? Are they going to do 8 waves of Siege, and then in do another part of the trilogy, War for Cybertron trilogy, because that's what they're calling it. Is the second part going to also be G1? Like, is Wave 1 of that going to be these same characters again? What? That seems a bit bizarre to me. A bit strange, even. A bit corrupt. I'm just saying words. I'm just saying words at this point. I thought I'd have more to talk about, if I'm honest. But I seem to have exhausted everything 43 minutes in. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Brevity, of course, being the soul of wit. Which is something we are just against here. We will just go on and on and on. Yeah, it looks like the wee Shockwave can stand on like a miniature version of his head or something. That's cool. That's... yeah, I'm into that. That seems like more... I know they've just placed one bit of the toy on another bit of the toy, but that seems like they're at least trying more than they did with the Power of the Primes and their separate power-up bits. Still never got any of them. I could have got the Rodimus. I could have got the Dark Rodimus at some point. And I didn't. Which I feel a wee bit bad about. His shoulder connectory bits, his like split legs really put me off that toy, but I'm sure if I had some time with it I could get past it. Yeah, is this Baby Dinobots? They had names. One of these posts was naming them, and I feel like the Triceratops was called Tops. Which is, I don't know how I didn't know that before now. That's bloody amazing. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. Oh, there's an Omega Supreme, and he's like a Titan class, or at least that's what's being said. I think I like Omega Supreme. The War for Cybertron game does a hell of a lot to make people like Omega Supreme. And also, I hear he's a road in the Tom Scully G.I. Joe versus the Transformers comic, which, you know, that's pretty magical. It looks like he's a tank here, or at least a bit of him is a tank. I hope they have like a road or, you know, a separate rocket structure that is his legs or his torso or something, but it looks like he folds down into tank. Or at least, maybe that's a bit of him. The picture of him that we have seems like that can't really be all of him if you want him to be Titan classy. Titan classy? That's Titan classy, that is. Oh no, wait. Jeez, didn't think that one through. Yeah, I guess that's the last thing to talk about. He has existence. He has existence is a sentence you can say. No one's going to stop you. Probably wouldn't buy it. I've not bought any Titan class toy. I don't have the Fortress Maximus, I don't have the Triptychon, I don't have the Metroplex, I don't have the Combiners, I don't have Devastator or Predaking, because they're like hundreds of pounds for toys, and that's just silly. I would have probably got the Maximus. I should have probably got him when he was at A1 Toys, because he was for hella cheap, I remember. Or at least £100, which, you know, for a Titan thingy is hell of cheap. Oh look, there's 13 new tweets. I wonder if more stuff's been revealed at all. I burnt. Oh, he burnt Triptychon's tank buddy, says the wiki. That's fine. I thought he looked a bit Triptychon-y. It's the purple giving it away. It's a choice. I would have rather it be a new character. Just do the whole what do you call it? The whole Rook thing, Alpha Bravo. Just do your hardcore G1 pandering, but also be like, lads, you're also getting a new character. Deal with that. Just deal with it. Yes. Yeah, I kind of want Cog as well. Cog was revealed a while ago with Autobot lads, but if I had to choose, I don't know. I don't know who to choose between Burnt and Cog. Burnt has an amazing name, and I would be calling him Turnt. That is a plus. Cog's more of a heroic Autoboy, you know, because he is a heroic Autoboy. But you know, like he's got hands and he looks generic. I really like generic Robos. So I mean, I can't say that Burnt doesn't look generic, but he does have a lot of character in his genericness, which you would think that would be a positive, but here I am making it a negative. We should probably wrap it up. Very excited for the Decepticons. Before the second lot of them was revealed there, I didn't really have like a guy that I desperately needed to get, but I think I'm definitely going to get Flywheels. Probably didn't come across in this podcast because I only talked about him for 3 minutes, but everything about him is kind of like an internal love. You know, it's like a specific like, no, this is a cool looking robot. I had fun with his previous toy, or a toy that previously bore his name, and I'm sure he's a fun character in the comics. Doesn't he die? Doesn't he die immediately? He's one of the scavengers. One of them dies immediately. Was it Fly Wheels? Maybe. He had big feet, and still has big feet. So, yeah. Transformers Siege. I think it'll probably be too overpriced for me. I think they said something about it being Studio Series prices costed, which, that was always going to happen. Once that was successful, or once they even did that with the Studio Series, bumped up the prices of the Deluxe and the Voyagers and whatnot, that's where we were going. Everything costs more. Blame Brexit. Blame the future, because it's always coming. Like, the future is out there, like a slasher killer, just waiting to get you with its inevitable price increases on plastic crack. Bye!